Hello, welcome back to my channel and to today's video, which is going to be an M&S, what's sort of currently new in stores and online, try on. I've got a whole range of different categories, so down below in the description box, along with size information and direct links to each item, I have also done timestamps for each category, because I know time is precious, so if there's a category you want to skip, you can. Now, for anyone that's not familiar with the sort of format and the way that I do these videos, not everything that is here on my rail and behind me, accessories and footwear, etc., are items which are in my wardrobe, items which I've bought for my wardrobe. However, they are all items which I have picked up in store that I've thought, I like this. So I'm not just trying on things for the sake of it that I wouldn't normally wear. I'm just trying on things which I would instinctively pick up because I like them. Now, there are quite a few items that are going to be in today's video which are actually items which I've purchased deliberately for my wardrobe and liked so much that I have kept them. So those will be marked down below in the description box with an asterisk by that item, just so that you guys are aware which items I have decided to keep. So I'm gonna get stuck in to the rail. Actually, no, I'm not, that's a lie. Before I get started, there is one category that's not clothing or accessories that I wanted to just share with you guys. Marks and Sparks fragrances. Now, I've been told that these have become a bit of a thing on social media. Ironically, I don't actually spend much time on social media because I think when you work somewhere, whether it be on social media or in a certain shop or a restaurant, you don't tend to go there in your sort of free time. So I don't spend a lot of time scrolling, but my mum told me about these a couple of months ago, and then when I went to see Debs for her birthday last month, she'd also mentioned them. So Marks and Sparks have their own range of fragrances. They've got two different brand names, if you like. One is Discover, and then, rather originally, Discover Intense. The clue is in the name, these ones are just a little bit more intense. Now, I decided that I would go and have a little spritz when I went into the Marks and Sparks in Bluewater not long ago. And I fell in love with several of the fragrances. In fact, I think there was only one that I didn't like. And I am very much one of those people that doesn't stick to like one or even two signature fragrances. I have a whole collection. I love fragrances. I match my fragrance to my mood, to the weather, to what I'm doing or where I'm going, and sometimes even to the outfit that I'm wearing. The fragrance for me is very much about just a whole collection of things and very much about my mood, and I think those two can often be linked. So I do love to collect fragrances, and these are an absolute bargain. So these sort of main fragrances come in two different sizes, a 30ml and then a 100ml. The 30mls are £6, the 100mls are £10. £10 for 100ml of fragrance. Right, now that I've got that out of the way, let's move on to the main categories. So the first category that I'm going to go through is suiting. So I have got a linen suit. So the first of which, they're all sold separately, each piece, but as you can see here, we've got a waistcoat, a blazer and trousers. The trousers you regulars might recognise from last week's video where I was sharing what is new in my wardrobe. When I originally bought these, I had a feeling they were going to release perhaps a matching blazer. I did not anticipate the matching waistcoat, but I am thrilled about it nonetheless. And yeah, I just had a feeling they were going to release some matching items as well. So they are all separates, but these are the trousers. They are a wide leg and they are a linen viscose blend fabric. And yeah, they're just such a beautiful pair of trousers, and I know I've always feel really confident when I buy certain things. I just know that I'm going to get so much wear out of them. And again, it's because they're all separates, they can be split up. So very much like the suit that I shared in last week's video, which I'm going to wear for a wedding. These are items which just work well individually, but paired with other things. The waistcoat I'd wear with jeans. These trousers I'd wear with just a basic on top, whether it be a vest or a t-shirt. They can be dressed up or dressed down. And I just think items like that are really valuable addition for me personally, very valuable addition to my wardrobe, because it just makes them so much more versatile, and there are so many more options then by having that item, more ways to style them. So as I mentioned, matching items, we've got the waistcoat here. The fabric blend is exactly the same. It is fully lined, and this is my niggle. It's fully lined in 100% polyester, as is the blazer. And that's a little bit disappointing. In fact, it's a lot disappointing for me, because I know that M&S are using different fabrics like viscose and modal, and I just think that they could have used one of those fabrics for the internal lining, because to have something nice and fresh and breathable like linen to then line it in polyester, for me just sort of defeats the object. That said, the lining is nice and soft. It's just obviously plastic lining, because polyester is plastic, so it's just a little bit of a shame. And again, here's the matching blazer, once more fully lined in the polyester, which is just a little bit annoying. It is single breasted, which is my preferred style and cut of a blazer. It is also a more relaxed fit, not to be confused with oversized. So it is just relaxed, which means it's not fitted or nipped in at the waist. If you did want a more oversized look with this particular blazer, I would advise sizing up. I've just gone for a size 10, and for me it fits perfectly and exactly how I would want it to fit. There is no closure on this though. Although it's single breasted, there are no buttons. So I can't say I ever do up my blazers anyway. It's not something I would ever do. And there's also no vent on the back, which I can't say bothers me. It's just a nice summer linen blazer. I don't think it really needs the vent. That's just a little style detail which you can often get on blazers. But this is £59, and yeah, I actually think the whole set, whether you're going to buy just one item or the whole set in general, I think it's really, really good value. Right, moving on to my next category, which is autograph. I know that's not necessarily a clothing category, but it is one of the brands that they have featured within the Marks and Sparks, or featured under the Marks and Sparks umbrella. And Autograph, for those of you who aren't familiar, is their more premium sort of elevated brand. So it does often carry a higher price tag, but it is also where they tend to use all of their nicer fabrics. So it's where you'll find the silks, wools, cashmere. Of course, you guys will know of my love of their cashmere jumpers from over the years. Apart from this particular set that I have bought. This is 96% polyester. And I bought this and I thought, do you know what? I picked it up in store and I was like, that fabric feels not great. But do you know what? I want to try it on and I want to speak about the fabrics and sort of chat to you guys about them. So this is a little plissé set, again sold separately, and it comes in black. It also comes in quite a nude colour. And I am not wrong when I say nude, it is very pale nude. So I think in terms of skin tone, you'd have to be a little bit careful with that one. I think it would probably only suit darker skin tones, because otherwise you literally would look like you're naked. So that's why I decided to show you guys the black and do a try on of the black. However, this is not a set that I would recommend just based on the fabric, which is such a shame, because it's very Izumi-Aki inspired. It's got, obviously they have a range called Pleats Please. And I know a lot of brands, COS also does some Izumi-Aki Pleats Please inspired items as well. And it's such a shame because actually online this set looks really wicked together. It looks very minimal but also really chic and stylish. And again, separates that can be mixed and matched with other items. But that fabric, and it's such a letdown because I feel like just a little bit of extra thought could be put into the fabric from the design team or whoever deals with the fabric, whatever department that may be. I just think that, especially for their autograph range, it should have been better. So the top that I've got here is £35, and then the trousers I think are 50 something. Yeah, 55. Trousers are actually quite nice. They're a little bit cropped. They've got an elastic, well, a little bit cropped on me. Got an elasticated waistband, and actually these don't come in 3 different leg lengths, but they do both come in sizes 6 to 24 again. Yeah, so I don't really know what else I can say. It's just fabric was a real letdown with this one. And obviously when I do these try-ons and brand reviews, I like to give a balanced review, and if I think something is a bit crappy, then I'll say it's a bit crappy, and that for me is a bit crappy. Right, what is my next category? Let me check my notes. It's bags, and there's a reason for that because there is a little brand segue from autograph to an autograph. Oh no, it's all gone wrong. Let's try that again. An autograph bag. So as you will see behind me, I have done all basket bags for my accessories in this video. I love a basket bag. I absolutely love them. Every spring, summer, I have quite a few now, all slightly different, all appropriate for different outfits because I like to mix and match them. And yeah, I picked up this one just because I thought it was a really nice quality and it's really nice and structured. So again, as I mentioned at the start, with the exception of the plissé set, M&S Autograph does tend to use slightly higher quality, higher grade fabrics and materials. So the actual raffia or wickery baskety bit of the bag is 100% paper. And then all of the trim and the handles is real leather. So if you're a vegan, it's not going to be great for you. And then the bag is actually fully lined inside, and that is 100% cotton. Now it's got some really nice little design features like protective feet on the bottom of the bag, of which are gold. So the hardware on this bag, although none of it is particularly visible, if you are a bit finicky about your hardware, it is all gold, which for me is a winner because I love gold. But if you are very much a silver person, that might maybe put you off a little bit. But yes, it's really structured. You've got a zippy pocket inside and a patch pocket inside, and then a magnetic closure on the top, and it is very, very structured. Right, basket bag number 2 might look a little bit familiar to you guys because I actually think it's a really good dupe for the Loewe basket bags that have been out for years now. They're still incredibly popular. You will all know that I have 3 of them, all in different sort of styles and sizes. And the one that I tend to wear the most is this colourway with the tan leather plaque logo on the front and then the tan leather straps. These are not actual leather because this bag is £45. So for that sort of price, I don't think you're looking at getting this much leather. But I think as a basket bag and as a dupe for that Loewe bag, it's really good. The stitching is also very similar, the way it's got the white contrast stitching on there. The straps aren't quite as wide as the Loewe, and it does have these little buckly details, which the Loewe doesn't have. But otherwise, I think it's a really good shout. Now, it does have one thing that Loewe doesn't have, which I actually think is a huge benefit, and that is this top drawstring section, which you can obviously put all your belongings inside and then pull up the lining, drawstring that so that nothing falls out. Because the Loewe basket bag doesn't have any closure at all. It's literally just a basket bag open. There's no magnetic closure, no tie, no nothing. So with regards to items falling out, especially if you are using it as a beach bag or a pool bag when you go on holiday, this one is much more secure and sort of keeps all your items inside. That said, I also just think that, as I mentioned with regards to the autograph one, a basket bag is, whether you're going on holiday or not, is a really nice piece to have as part of your spring-summer wardrobe. It's a very spring-summer appropriate accessory. And this is the last little, it's not, I feel like this one's not really a basket bag, but you know, it's in the same sort of realm. And this one is £29.50, which is an absolute bargain. Slightly smaller than the other two, so perhaps if you are looking for a more sort of summery bag for day-to-day use, not necessarily on a holiday, and you don't carry loads of stuff around with you day-to-day, then this one might be a bit of a better size. Now, this does come in two colourways, this natural colour with the black stripe, which I love. I think the stripes on this natural kind of colourway just, there's something about it I find very visually appealing. And then it comes in an all black, so completely plain all black. It's got slightly skinnier straps than the other two, which are actually really comfortable. It's obviously not real leather for only £29.50, but they are very, very soft. And I think because it's the sort of bag that you couldn't necessarily overfill, then they're not going to sort of cause an issue with digging in. I just think this is a really good little bag. I really do. This wasn't something that I was planning on keeping, but I think it would work really well in my wardrobe. And well, I'm a sucker for stripes and I'm a sucker for basket bags, so it's almost like it was made for me. Right, on to the next category, which is trousers. So this first pair, these are crepe wide leg trousers. These are a very popular style for M&S. They are always selling out. They come in very, very classic and wearable colours. They come in white, black, navy, and then the fourth colour is very much going to be a Marmite colour. It's not my cup of tea, but it's quite a bold, bright, bluey purple called Iris. If you love bold colour, I'd imagine that's going to be for you. It's not my cup of tea, but those are the four colours they come in. The fabric is really nice, very floaty. The movement on these trousers is lovely, but they are polyester. And that surprises me greatly because if we go back to the dreadful autograph plissé set, this polyester fabric feels awful, whereas this doesn't feel like polyester at all. To me, it feels more like viscose or modal. And so, yeah, I just think sometimes with polyester, you can't always write it off. Unless, and I know there's a couple of you that always comment, you don't do polyester, absolutely fine. I'm not here to change anyone's minds, but in my personal opinion, these feel really nice. Okay, repeat purchase alert, repeat purchase alert. I have the same pair of trousers in 3 colours because I love to do that when I find something I really love. So these are the linen wide leg trousers. They are a smarter style than what perhaps you might envisage a pair of linen trousers being, which is usually the elasticated waist with the little drawstring, although M&S do also do those, and I have a few pairs of those from last year. Also very good, so I'll link those down below in the description box for anyone that's interested. But these are more of a tailored style, so they have much more fitted section up top and they're high-waisted, and then they really do, I don't want to say flare out because they're not flares, but they definitely go out to a wider leg at the bottom. And I have all of those in a 10 long because again they come in 3 different leg sizes, or leg lengths rather. And the reason I bought all of those, I do have a lot of linen trousers, but especially in the summer, I tend to live in pretty much anything linen. Right, what have we got next? Outerwear, I believe. So I actually didn't find much outerwear that really tickled my pickle. And this was actually the only piece of outerwear that I thought, yeah, do you know what? That's quite nice. I would wear that. So, and I think, to be honest with you, around this time of year, the only outerwear that I would tend to reach for spring, summer would be a trench coat anyway and a lighter jacket. So, you know, I think outerwear tends to be more of an autumn winter category in general that you can go into more depth over. But this is a little short parka with a hood. And this has got, and M&S have like a few different trademarked, what they call technologies. I'm not entirely sure if these technologies are just a sales ploy or whether they actually do any good. So this technology is called Stormwear, and it's basically just a water repellent coating that's over the fabric. Doesn't make it feel rough or starchy in any way, and obviously because this is just a new in try on, I can't attest to the validity of their showerproof claims, but it doesn't make it waterproof, but it makes it water repellent for sort of light spring showers, which I think is probably appropriate for this time of year. I wouldn't be going out in this in like a torrential downpour. I think that's probably when the Stormwear would fail. But I think this is a really nice little jacket. It's actually got a little drawstring at the bottom, so you can drawstring it in and blouse it up and make it into like a little, just like a little bomber jacket. And I actually think it's really cool. Now the sizing on these is a little bit strange, or it's not strange, but it's not done in dress size, it's done in small, medium, large. So I got this one in a small, and it is, you know, it does have a bit of room in there, so I would maybe have a little look through some of the reviews. I actually like the size of this, but I'd have a look through some of the reviews if this was something you wanted to buy and you were just debating on size, or just go into store and try a few different ones on, because sizing sometimes can be a little bit on and off when you've got something as vague as extra small, small, medium and large. There's a bit of like, what size should I be? Footwear is my next category, and I've got 3 pairs of sandals to share with you guys. Sorry, I've also got a tickle on my nose. The first of which are these suede footbed, they call them mules, and I suppose that is accurate because it is a mule, but sandals. Now, these are very, very similar to the Hermes, and I'm going to say Chypre, but I bet it's pronounced in a very chic French way, like Chypre or something like that. But I'm going to say Hermes Chypre. And they are very, very similar. And one thing I have noticed this season is that there are a lot of dupes for those sandals coming out, which I think a lot of us will be quite thankful for, because A, those sandals were impossible to get. They just sold out everywhere, and also very expensive. Not quite Chanel dad sandal expensive, but still upwards of like £600, £700. So this is M&S's version. Price-wise, let me just have a look because I've forgotten. They are £45. They're a standard fit and they are real suede. So for 45 quid, I think it's really good value. Now, I really like these sandals. Spoiler alert, these are something that I did buy for my wardrobe, and obviously I haven't worn them yet because it's not quite sandal weather. But I really like this little whip stitch detailing that they've got. I think that makes them a little bit different. They have the, Velcro section up here, so you can tighten them or loosen them depending on your feet. Oh, and size-wise, before I move on to my next pair, they are available in UK sizes 3 to 8. As I've mentioned previously, I have awkward feet and I have a half size, a 7.5, and I have opted for a 7 because of course they're open, so it doesn't matter if there's a bit of overhang somewhere, but I think that they fit me perfectly. The 8s would have been miles too big, so yes, I think if you're a half size, you can size down. Right, next pair, again might also look quite familiar because they are a bit of a Chanel dad sandal dupe, minus the fact that they're not quilted leather. So I know a few brands did come out with a quilted leather or quilted faux leather style. These are not, they're just plain, but I actually think there's a lot to be said about something just being basic and plain. That will obviously not come as a surprise to you regulars because I do like quite basic plain things, but these are not leather. They are only £35, so I think to expect leather for that kind of money is... But they are, and I'll see if I can find the tag that says it somewhere. Yes, so they have these little vegan tags on some of their items now. And that doesn't necessarily just refer to the fact that it's not genuine leather. I think sometimes when you're looking at shoes as a vegan, which by the way I am not, obviously, but if you're a vegan and you're looking at shoes, you have to also bear in mind the glue that's used in areas like gluing the soles onto the main part of the shoe, because glue will often contain derivatives from animal products. So these have actually been certified vegan, free from animal derived ingredients or materials. So that will also include the glue. Now, one little style element that I wanted to mention about these is that the buckles are also black. So I think that they blend in quite nicely. They don't stand out, so it's not in your face or whatever. And I think on a nice chunky pair of sandals like this, that is often a winning formula, because I think sometimes you just don't want loads of bells and whistles. And my final pair are from the Per Una range, and admittedly the Per Una range is not a range that I tend to look at very frequently, in fact at all. I've always found it a little bit, what's the word I want to use? I'm going to use a term that my mum would always use, artsy fartsy. I feel like it's a little bit bohemian, maybe is a little bit more accurate. But because I was doing this video, I made sure that I looked at every single section within Marks and Sparks, and I did decide to get these to show you guys. They're real suede, they're £59, and again, I think the Per Una range falls somewhere in between M&S Collection and Autograph. It's sort of mid-range, definitely higher price point than M&S Collection, but sometimes not as high as Autograph. Now, I think there seems to be a running trend with all the sandals that I've featured in this video, but these again, I feel like a very designer-inspired piece of footwear. They've got Isabel Marant vibes all over them. She's a designer that very much loves all these kind of stud details, and they're this classic, what I would always call the Birkenstock fit, which is just the slide on with the two buckles across the top and a sort of moulded footbed. They're really nice sandals. Now I know that £59 is a slightly higher price point if you do have more of a high street budget, but they are real suede. I know that can either be a pro or a con, given that suede is very tricky to clean, but with a good old bit of suede protector, shoe protector, give them a spritz, I think they would be a really good addition to any summer wardrobe. I think they, again, initially very, very comfortable, and the suede is really soft. So I would like to think there wouldn't be many comfort issues. Knitwear is my next category. I only have one item because again, this is spring and summer, so I just didn't really think it was appropriate, and you guys have heard me waffle on about Marks and Spencer's Autograph cashmere over the years, so I think we're all familiar with that. Now, this is another Per Una item. This and the sandals are only Per Una items I have in today's video, and it is a recycled cotton I would call it like a fisherman's jumper. It's probably not quite a fisherman's jumper, but it has quite an open weave to it. And again, this one is sized in the small, medium, large, extra large, etc. So I sized up in this to a large because I wanted a slouchier, kind of more casual beach throw over kind of fit to it. I know that's a lot of words to describe there, but you know what I mean. It's that kind of, maybe you've got a bikini top or swimming costume on underneath and you can kind of throw this over, because this is not the sort of jumper that you could wear nothing underneath. Well, unless you wanted to. I mean, I am not here to tell anyone what to do, but things would be visible, and depending on size, things might poke through holes. So if that is your jam, you do you. I am not here to complain about that. But yes, I would wear something underneath, either a vest top, or if you have like a nice bra crop top, or in summer a bikini top underneath. Right, denim. I wanted to feature some denim because obviously denim is a huge part of a lot of people's wardrobes. So I've got 3 items from their denim range. The first of which, and I do actually own some of their other denim, some of their other jeans, which I just think are great. And again, they have the 3 leg lengths, which is a winning formula. Now, after having tried and tested lots of M&S denim, there are some styles that I'm not a fan of. So I think the best thing to do is always to just go in store, take a load into the fitting room or take them home with you. Obviously pay first, but yes, just try them on because it is very much trial and error. So the style that I have here are the Boyfriend Ankle Grazer, and available in 3 lengths. I have the 10 long. They also have the little roll up on the bottom, which is not stitched, so you can unroll it. I really hate it when brands stitch the turn up, because then you're like, now you've just made an extra job for me. And these come in, I think, if I remember correctly, 5 different colours. Now, as you will see here, this is the lightest wash of denim that they come in. These have a rip on just one knee, so if that very casual element is not your jam, this particular colourway might not be for you, but the other 4 colours of the Boyfriend Ankle Grazer have no rips. So there's no sort of distressed elements on them at all. It's literally just this lighter colour. Right, the next pair that I have, these ones are slightly smarter, and these are wide high-rise. And these have actually got a central pleat which is ironed into the middle, so it gives them a slightly more sort of smarter tailored trouser effect. And the denim on these definitely feels like it's got a lot more stretch to it, and when I wear them and sort of move around, do some squats, you can feel that there's a lot more give. It feels like again, not too thin, not too thick, but it just feels like a different denim, almost more like a more premium jegging kind of denim, which is great again for comfort. And these ones are £39.50, again available in the 3 different leg lengths, which is winning. And yeah, they're just a nice flattering pair of jeans. Now, if you watched last Sunday's video, you'll have seen that I was looking for a pair of not super stark white wide leg jeans. These were actually not one of the pairs that I tried on because they hadn't come out yet. I actually have the ones that were the winners on at the moment. So if you missed that, you can go back and watch that video. But these would have also been a contender had they have been available. I am very happy with the ones that I got on though, because they were a bargain. And then my final piece of denim, because I wanted to just add in something a little bit different, is actually a pencil skirt. Now, this comes in 4 colours, I think, black, white, and then maybe a couple of denim colours. It's £29.50, and even though it is a skirt, this also comes in the 3 different lengths. Now, I was unsure as to which length I would prefer because sometimes lengths of skirts can look a bit funny on me. So I actually got the 10 long and the 10 regular. Now, again, it's a similar denim to the boyfriend jeans, a little bit more structured, but still with a little bit of stretch in there. And actually, I think a denim pencil skirt is a nice little addition to a spring-summer wardrobe if denim is important within your wardrobe. It just gives you that slightly more spring-summer element to be able to wear while still being, you know, relatively covered if that's important to you. It does have a split up the front, which is essential for good movement when wearing a pencil skirt. Otherwise, you just sort of end up doing the little penguin waddle and you can't walk properly. My final category is just called everything else because it's just a t-shirt and a midi skirt. So this t-shirt was the t-shirt that I featured in last week's video, so I won't spend too much time on it. It's a linen blend. I sized up in this by 2 sizes because I wanted a more slouchier fit. I will share some other cutaways of this as well, but one thing that I did note last week is that it's got quite a, like the stripes aren't super stark and bold. It's black and white, but the black stripes are slightly softer, so the contrast isn't so heavy, which I quite like. It gives a slightly more softer feel to it. It's a linen and cotton blend, and it's got a really nice sort of movement to it. And yeah, just a really good basic, but with a stripe, so without being too basic. And it's a V-neck, which again, as I mentioned in last week's video, is just slightly different neckline for the spring summer seasons when you've got a bit more of a tan. Now, the last item that I have is a pure cotton midi skirt, and again, because it's a skirt, I also got this in a 10 long and a 10 regular because it comes in those 3 lengths. It does also come in white. I think this style of skirt is a little bit of a trend at the moment. It has pockets. Yes, but I don't think it's the sort of item, with it being a trend, that's a one season wonder. I think it's actually quite a basic piece. Just a black cotton skirt, I think that's always going to be appropriate for any spring summer season and wouldn't really require much sort of effort in terms of styling. It would just be something that I would wear with a basic t-shirt or basic vest over the top. And in a similar way to like the linen trousers, again, just something that covers my legs for the summer season but keeps me cool and ventilated in certain regions. And yeah, it's just a nice basic piece that's not a pair of trousers or a dress. Right, that is it. We have eventually come to the end. I'm sorry if this has ended up being a long-ish video. As you can tell, I spoke quite quickly because I was trying to make it as concise and to the point and not as time consuming as possible, so I won't waffle on anymore. I will just say thank you as always for watching. I really appreciate it. Me and Simon both really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.